Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner. This is my little, I guess not a review, but just my commentary on an interview that girl, I forgot her name so quick, Nene Leakes did on Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee. I have 18 different things in my head going on, the reviews I'm going to do, so I was confused for a second, but I'm back. Okay, I know what I'm talking about. This is my commentary on the interview that Miss Lanithia Leakes did on Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee. Okay, but first things first, if you have not done so already, make sure to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, dun, and all that goodness and stuff. Do not forget to also like this video because I like it when y'all like it because it's supposed to be liked or whatever. Do not forget to also, comment in the comment section. Comment in the comment section. What else? Comment. Oh, share. I'm sorry, y'all. Share the video too, because that's what we want y'all to do. I want you to also relax and relate and release, center yourself and everyone around you. Also, go ahead and inhale. Okay, and exhale because it helps you to do things like, hey, be calm, cool, and collected or whatever. My mouse is dying and I'm trying to do two things at once. Do not forget to also follow me on social media on Twitter and IG at J_Lees_Corner because that's also something I want y'all to do. Okay, so let's get to this interview that she did. Okay, on Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee. She said she said some things and whatever. So we know Nene was on Housewives of Atlanta for 12 seasons because she was on from season 1. She left around season 8, I think, came back in season 9. But again, she was the longest OG on the franchise. They're going into season 14 right now. She left after season 12. Now, the first thing she did was she brought up how she felt like Bravo kind of used the OG, the people who got very popular in the beginning, and used them to make the franchise work. She felt like they used them to get popular. She brought up how, Andy even used her to make Watch What Happened Live popular too, because she was the one person who was on that show the most. But I feel like when she brought up how she feel as if the show or the producers or whoever the powers that be were, kind of upset and confused and dismayed because certain people got popular very, very fast. I was like, Nene, you were on the show for 12 seasons, mama. You didn't get popular fast. You were popular in the beginning and stayed popular for a while, but they didn't use you or got upset at your fame because again, you stayed on the show for a long time. So I'm like, that's not quick. It wasn't as if you got popular around season 1 and then they kicked you out of season 3. They did that with other housewives. Okay, Deshaun Snow, Lisa Wu. They put other people out at the beginning. Deshaun Snow, Lisa Wu. So we're gonna leave that be. But however, you, in my opinion, profited the most from your fame. You profited the most of any housewife because you were the most popular. You were the one who they did, put up on a pedestal. But you lived on that pedestal until you fell off. Okay? You were on a pedestal and you felt as if you will always be there. And even though we are aware that things were happening behind the scenes, you still was on in front of the cameras acting as if like nothing was wrong. So you played the role that you were paid to play. And you got upset when they no longer needed you to play that role anymore. But you should have done what made your exit a planned exit to where you did not need Bravo anymore. Because I feel like Nene should have seen the writings on the wall for a while. But again, that was her point in saying she felt like they used her to do that. Okay. Now she also brought up how she feels as if Bravo has, as she said, house Negroes. I was like, not a house Negro. Okay. Now when talking about how she felt like she, came and went and how people were there to use themselves to, sabotage her. And so she alluded to and basically said that Bravo has house Negroes who do their dirty work, And that's the reason, or at least one of the reasons she was pushed out, because of these house Negroes. She brought up how she believed, she said how Bravo was being mean to her and was being unfair to her, and all the accusations she had against Bravo. And she said she feels like people need to believe women when they say things happen to them. People need to believe women because 9 times out of 10 they're telling the truth. It's like, but what was it one time they're lying? You know what I'm saying? We never know when someone's lying, but we can at least listen to someone's accusations. I think everyone listened to her accusations. However, it was the hypocrisy of it all to where you profited for years from the show, and the minute they didn't need you anymore, or you fell off because you did not have a storyline anymore, you felt the need to then bash the show. Okay, so again, I had claims against Bravo, but Bravo, you know what I'm saying, did not want to work with me, and people did not want to believe me. Now, not Anderson. Jason Lee then got real messy. He asked her about her and Kandi. Okay? Now, we know that Nene and Kandi's relationship over the years has been a rocky one. It has had its ups, it has had its downs, or whatever. However, Jason asked her, you know, Kandi didn't listen to the girls who made claims against Tiny and Ti. But did she listen to you? I was like, Jason Lee is the messy queen if I have ever seen one. And this is a shady, shady comment or question to ask someone to say, Kandi didn't listen to the girls who, went against Ti and Tiny. So did she listen to you with your claims against Bravo? And Nene then brought up when Escape and like Tamar Braxton and them was on tour. And at that point, Nene and Kandi were cool. Nene was on comedy at that point in time, a little comedy show or whatever. And so they asked Nene to be the MC of the tour. And, at that point in time, she did a whole show or whatever. And there was a heckler on the show. And the heckler told her, like, I wish you died, whatever. And Nene's response was, I hope you get taken advantage of. I hope someone tries to take your cooch from you. Y'all know what I mean. I'm not gonna say the word, but I hope your stuff gets taken. Okay. And when she said that, it was a huge, huge backlash, because again, it's like, how would you tell somebody that you hope that happens to them? Even though her response was because of what they said to her, she was definitely she definitely faced the backlash from that. And because of that, she said Kandi called her personally, okay, and told her that she could no longer MC their shows because of the backlash she was getting for saying that on stage and everything. Now, this is the thing. Nene, admitted she said it. It was wrong, how she did not handle the heckler the right way. And, she did take accountability for what she said and how wrong it was. Okay, we're going to acknowledge that. She brings up how it's funny that Kandi called me personally and told me she could not work with me and I could not work as the MC of a tour, but she did not tell Tiny that she couldn't do verses, or she did not tell Tiny that she cannot do touring with them based on the allegations that her and Ti are facing. And I was like, that is a horrible comparison, period, for a couple of different reasons. One, no, Nene was not accused of anything. She said something horrible, and so a job she had, they did not want her on because at that time you were in. It was bad at that point in time. Not only that, you didn't have any real affiliation with their show. You were not part of their group, so it made no sense for them to try to save you for their show. Period. So that's the reason why at that point in time they did not do that. Now with Tiny and the whole versus stuff, she is in the group Escape, for one. Two, she has not been found guilty of anything. Okay. And it's an ongoing investigation that is happening. But Kandi does not run the group case. She can't say, what, Tiny, you can't be with us. It's a 4-person group. She's a part of the group. And not only that, Kandi's friends with Tiny. So you can't fault her for wanting to support her friend of years and years and years when you and her ain't that close and you are not a part of the group. You're not even a singer. You're not even a comedian. You're going to be out front like saying, hey, introducing Escape. Introducing Tamer, you was an introducer, Nene. So to compare her not wanting to back you to her not wanting to, exclude Tiny, to me was a bad comparison. Okay, period. Period. But I feel like Kandi and Nene will forever be at odds. But Nene has the right to feel how she wants to feel, even if the comparison isn't fair. Okay. But I was like, girl, you really tried it. Now Jason then asked, well, do you think Kandi was intimidated by you? And that could be the reason why she did not want you on their tour, or that could be the reason she's happy that you're not on the show anymore, or that could be the reason as to why she hasn't supported you in different ways over the years. Now Nene at first just smiled and did not say anything. Okay, she then brings up how, and these what Nene said, okay, to that question. She said people need to be careful who they cheer for. People cheer for people who they should not cheer for because of what happens behind closed doors that they don't know about. Okay. She says people do things behind closed doors, and that is why they get things. That's why they get shows. That's why they get better opportunities because of what they're doing behind closed doors. It's not because they are a mogul. It's not because they're smart. It's not because they work hard or that they're talented. It's what they do behind closed doors. I'm like, oh Lord Jesus. Again, she called people a house Negro. She was 100% speaking about Kandi. So Nene is basically allegedly saying Kandi is a house Negro who does things behind closed doors to get all her deals with Bravo or whoever else. That's what Nene, in my opinion, is alleging. Okay, because again, the things she was saying to me point towards Kandi, but we know she's always done that. She's always, alluded to Kandi being this way or the other. She's always alluded to people trying to block her blessings and allude to it was being Kandi. So, in my opinion, that is what she was alluding to. That Kandi is not really talented. She's not really the one getting all these business for good reasons. She's doing shady shit behind closed doors as a house Negro for Bravo, and that's why they keep her around. But she also made it clear that she was the Beyonce of the franchise. She said verbatim, me not being on Housewives is like, if you have this Destiny Child, but no Beyonce. There is no Destiny Child without Beyonce. And I was like, that group is different because each of them ladies sing and you do want them as a group. However, the Housewives show has always been an ensemble cast of people coming in and out. And it's weird to me for her to feel like I don't get how Nene assumes she will forever be on that show. Eventually, everyone leaves. Eventually, you play yourself out because you can't be on the Housewives forever. No one has been on the show forever. Because the show, what else can we see? Nene. So it's weird for me that she feels as if Nene Lees really feel like she makes the show. She really felt like it was all about her. That's what she felt, okay? And I was like, but I don't know why. I don't know why. Now, when she brought up how she felt like the show currently has an issue, not only with Housewives, but also with other shows like Basketball Wives. She said the issue is that the formula for the show was messed up, okay? Because you can't have one or two people on the show that nobody can go at. No one can check them. Nobody can call them out on their shit. And if they do, they run the fear of being fired or whatever. And that's the issue. You have these shows where no one can go at somebody. She brought up on Basketball Wives how, no one can go at like Evelyn and Shawnee without feeling like they may, get some flack for it or whatever. That's not a good thing. Okay. No one on a show should be untouchable. But I'm like, Nene, you wanted to be untouchable. When anyone would come after you would complain about, oh, everybody won't come at me. It's like because you do bullshit. And while I agree with her that the formula for these shows have played out, and that there needs to be a change as far as the point of the show, because I'm tired of the fussing and the fussing and the fussing. Okay, that's just team too much. But her bringing up how, Housewives of Atlanta is going down because no one is holding their friends accountable. Okay, you can't do that. It's like people can't come hard at just me, but not other people. Not that I agree with. You can't go hard at Nene, but I not also go hard at whoever else. We said that this season about people not taking Kenya on her bullshit, and even Porsha a little bit. Okay, there's things that each person done that did that their friend would not check them on. So that part is right. I agree with that. But you can't feel as if you are the one who makes the show. And because you aren't on the show anymore, that's why it's going down. I'm like, no. The reason I feel like this season Housewives was not done, but it wasn't done correctly. One, it was the pandemic. Two, it was cast changes. And I feel like Nene acting as if she just was on last season. You were just on last season, and no one knew how to work during COVID. So I feel like, she can't make it seem as if I left the show and it went to shit. No, the show was shit last season. It was shit last season. And until she can admit you do not make the show, because even last season when you were on the show, it wasn't that good. And again, this season is one season when you're gone. You have two new castmates, and it's COVID. So it's hard to shoot scenes. It's hard to play events. You couldn't really do much. That's why I think this season was BS. Now next season, if it's still as boring as this season was, that's different. Because at this point, you are not having to really work within the means of COVID. And Atlanta was one of the most open cities. So even giving them a piece of grace, it's like, okay, we're going to see. Because again, Nene wants to make it seem as if I'm HBIC, I'm the Beyonce, and without me, the show failed. It's like, no, it was a bad season. It's been on for 13 seasons. You're going to have a bad season or two. But to me, the season was not bad based on her not being there. Okay. Now, she then goes on to say how people will be on the show now working for pennies. Okay, how people will be on the show getting paid $1,000 to $1,500 per episode, just to be on the show. She also brought up how some women on the show work for free. Okay, they on the show just to get the exposure. Now that I do believe some of the friend ofs who will pop up here and there were not being paid because you just wanted to be on the show. I don't think that means not Marlo, not Shamia, not Tanya, and not Latoya. I think they were open. They were all paid certain amounts of money, so not them. I do believe other people who we've seen a little bit here and there, probably like Cynthia's sister, probably Porsha's sister, you know what I'm saying, and other people here and there. I do think they probably were not being paid that much. But we also know when the show first came on, Nene, y'all wasn't getting paid that much. So the fact that you built your way up to being paid, hundreds of thousands or up to $1 million per season is because you worked up to that. Because again, we not gonna forget, season 1 Nene and how you looked and how you acted. You were not being paid what you're being paid in the later seasons. So give the same grace to newbies as you were given as a newbie. Okay, let's not forget that. Okay, she brings up how at one point her and the ladies all, wanted to talk to the network about the production company, whatever, doing better things. She then threw Kandi up under the bus and said, well, that failed because Kandi went to the network on her own. And so at that point in time, we couldn't do what we need to do. I don't like how she took the Black Lives Matter situation. That's what it was about. And she timed that into the women not wanting to all work together. I think both both Porsha and Kandi have explained that to the T. So her making it be something else, as if she wanted them all to negotiate better salaries. She wanted them all to be paid, better amounts of money. And if they would have went to network together, they would have all gotten that. To me, it's bullshit. I feel like Nene was not going to be on the show past season 12. I felt that from the reunion on season 12. So the fact that she made it seem is that, well, had we all been communicating better, had we all been, as a unit, things could have been different for season 13. I don't believe that because y'all have not been on the same accord for years. And not just Nene, Kandi, Cynthia, Kenya, Porsha, all of them have been on different levels over the years. Y'all have never been a collective. Never. You've heard of other shows to where people in the cast will be together from the get-go saying, hey, we all want to be paid equally. We all want more money. But that doesn't happen at the last minute. And I feel like Nene trying to come together in season 12 to get herself more money, to get herself a better deal. And figured if I had the rest of the cast with me, I had better chances with Nene being selfish in a way. Yes, she wanted to help the other ladies too, but it was more about what she wanted because she kept bringing up how they was already railroading her in the beginning. So she's trying to connect things to me that should not be connected or whatever. Now, when Jason asked her, would she go back on the show? She said, I don't know. That I would have to talk to the network or whatever in private about that. Nene would 100% come back to Housewives. She absolutely would. Okay. Ain't no doubt in my mind that she would not. The issue is she wants them to pay her what she wants. And they may not do that. They don't really need Nene right now. Truthfully, they don't. Porsha and the Simon thing, is going to blow up next season. And also just to see how the ladies will interact with Porsha based on this. It's going to have people tuning in. So they don't really need Nene next season. They really, really don't. But I'm going to let that be. Now, they then asked her thoughts on the Porsha situation. Okay, boom, her and Porsha. Now, she brings up how she felt like, Porsha and Simon and Fallon and all this stuff. She said it looks bad. Okay, I cannot lie. It looks bad. Absolutely. Okay, but she also said how people do come on the show and the producers will say, act like y'all friends, act like you know them because this is how we introduce them to the group. I think they should stop doing that. Bring somebody in new to say, hey, they getting to know, so they're a new cast person. You do not, I've known them for years. We've been hanging out. Yeah, we are friends. No, to say, hey, this is a newbie who I'm getting to know. And leave it at that or whatever. But again, she said that, on the season, they do want a person to make it seem as if they are friends with somebody, and that's how they got into the group. She said, so it's very, very possible that Fallon and Porsha did not know each other at all. That she really did just meet her, coming on the show. What she did say was, however, despite her not being friends with her, despite that, she still worked with her. She still traveled with her. She still knew her and got to know her and her husband. So to make it seem as if, well, it should not be anything wrong with it because, again, she's not my friend. That's not fully right or accurate, okay? She brings up, because he then said, okay, well, do you think you would attend Porsha's wedding? And she said, Porsha get married? And he said, well, yeah, she got a ring to engage. She's like, well, just because she has a ring does not mean they will actually get married. I'm looking like, girl, so the ring don't mean a thing? I'm like, that's some shady shit. Nene did the exact same thing to tell you. Okay, that trip they had, was it in Japan? Was it in South Korea? I can't remember. But when she told Tanya that just because y'all engaged does not mean y'all gonna get married. So now you're saying the exact same thing to Porsha. Just because she has a ring does not mean she'll get, like, she was engaged to this too. I'm like, girl. I mean, it's her opinion, and I can't say I don't agree with her. I think Porsha will get married solely so people won't ever say she didn't get married. I think it's not gonna last that long. That's just me. But I think Porsha is going to be forced to go through this marriage because she does not want to seem like for the second time she got engaged and did not marry somebody. But I think she's gonna do it just to make it seem as a girl. It ain't like that. So they then get on her and Marlo. Okay, Nene and Marlo. And if Marlo should get a peach. Marlo has been on, I believe, as a friend of the show for like 8 seasons, and she has never held a peach. I don't think she's probably ever been invited to the peach photo shoot. She just like she got a peach holder. And when Jason asked, he said he feels like Marlo deserves a peach. Okay, he said he thinks she deserves one. And then he said, well, I don't think she deserves one at all or whatever. Like, she's been on the show for many years, okay? And even with that still does not mean that she deserves peach. And she made a great, valid point. Even if she had a peach, what does that mean? Nothing. Holding a peach won't matter to Marlo because she's already showed us her life. We see her nephews or whatever. Meaning, Marlo's life is not worth filming, because she's already showed y'all everything she has going on. There's nothing else that she hasn't shown us. Okay. And if she wanted to show more, even as a friend of the show, she could do that. But they're not going to pay her more to hold a peach when she's given us everything she has for less money. We're not going to pay you to show us nothing. And I was like, ooh, the shade of it all. I do wonder if her and Marlo are still friends because that wasn't the shadiest of comments, but again, it's like, ooh, that mean her life ain't shit. Okay. Anyway, but it's true. Why would they pay Marlo more money and have her hold a peach when she doesn't have much else going on? And if she wanted to show other things, she could, because Marlo was showed enough to where she could show what she want. She just won't get paid to do it, but she's already showed a lot, which is nothing. So again, Nene's right. She don't deserve a peach. While Marlo is entertaining, in little spurts, she's not, to me, a housewife peach holder. She doesn't have that material, in my opinion. Okay, that's just what I thought. Now they get on her and Cynthia a little bit, and she brings up how her and Cynthia are not friends anymore. We're not friends. We're not enemies. We're not friends. You know what I'm saying? If I saw her out in public, I would wave. I would hold up a little church finger. You know what I'm saying? Look, hey, how you doing? And keep moving. But again, we're not friends. And I think we all knew that from like a couple seasons ago. I don't think Cynthia and Nene will ever get back to how they were. This is based on them both being in different places in life right now. I think Cynthia's life, she's happy, she's healthy, she's married, whatever. She's in a place to where her friendship with Nene would not help either of them. And Nene is also in a different place to where she don't need allies anymore because she's not on the show anymore. Nene, to me, likes to befriend the cast because she wants people on her side. And if she is on the show, she don't have to do that. It's a reason, that she feel like I don't need y'all because she doesn't. And that's fine, fine, fine. Now he also asked her would she be going back to do any reality TV. And she said, well, how do you know I'm not doing a show now? I do feel like she has something in the works, but a part of me feels like it's gonna be a We TV show or a zoo show that will still be boring. Okay, it will still be boring. Okay, but she brought up how I won't speak too soon because you speak too soon or whatever, and people start trying to hate on you. So I'm gonna sit around here. I'm gonna move in silence. And they then discuss her in this reading session thing that she did before. We know she did that whole little reading session in her Media Lounge. When it was in production with the other gay men or whatever. And Jason Lee had a great point. He said, I feel like you should not do it with all gay men. I think, you should not use gay men as accessories. And that's what it seems like. Like, why not have like one gay guy and then like maybe like have Phaedra? I think that suggestion is amazing because Nene and Phaedra gets along. They're both funny. They're both shady. And it will work in my opinion. The fact that Nene does not want to take that bit of advice to me means she doesn't want to share her stage with any other woman, but she don't mind sharing it with other gay men. And she brought up how gay men support her and how they support her a lot because the Lanita Lounge I believe is open. It looks great, so kudos to her. But she brought up how she wants to support the people who support her, and I get that. But I also get Jason Lee's points. Like, you don't have to surround yourself with gay men because that makes people feel as if you're using them as an accessory. But Nene don't want to listen to that, and I'm mad because she's Nene, and she sometimes feel like she knows best. Okay, so the hour interview, that was the most part I got from it. Of her talking, Nene will always be the elite. She will always be a all-star. She will always be, someone who gave us great content over the years. But I also want her to be able to not consistently bring up housewives. I really wish she would have had something else lined up because of how good she had it. And now it feels like she's still trying to get back on the show. And to me, that means you don't have anything else lucrative enough to hold your time because you would never even think about going back to the show based on the accusations you said they did. Because he even asked her, like, how do you, still speak, highly of like Andy sometime in the network? At her point, she's like, well, yeah, I can't act like, at a certain time, I wasn't close to these people. So I can't, avoid that. And I'm like, true. But anyone who you feel like has wronged you to the point to where you were depressed and sad or whatever, why would you ever want to go back to that situation? Unless you don't have anything else lucrative enough or popping enough to sustain you yet. Okay, but Nene, focus on your store, on your lounge, and if you do get a show, just make sure it's not boring, mama. Okay, make sure it's good or whatever. Anyway, that's all I have. Yes, I was off screen the whole time. I hope y'all enjoyed it anyway. Do not forget to like this video, to comment in the comment section, to share it on your social media, to follow me on IG and Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. I will be back later on with more content, but right now I'm done. Peace.
World on my shoulders, so filled with stress.